biggest risks do you think for investors right now? We went into the year, everyone was worried about what was happening with the Fed and tapering. Then we had to worry about earnings with Q1. What are sort of the risks that aren't really being telegraphed that perhaps people should pay attention to?
Well, I think there's always political risk. Although I think the expectations by investors are so low about what happens in Washington, there's something to be said about managing expectations on the downside. I think it's deceleration in corporate earnings. Corporate earnings disappointing. Margins are at or near all-time highs, so there's not a lot of margin leverage to be had. So I think the big fear is deceleration of corporate earnings, and we're at multiples that are lofty enough that those disappointments could bring on equity correction.
What's all the recent M&A activity telling you?
That big companies aren't investing in their business, which is a bit of a shame. Interestingly, small companies, and we use bank loans as an indicator of their capital investment, bank loans have been growing 11% over the last year. So small and mid-sized companies are investing in their business. Big companies are not. So if you're a CEO, you've got excess capital, you can buy back your stock, pay dividends, and do M&A, or invest in your business. They're doing the first three and not the fourth.
Well, is that negative, though, for investors?
It is for the long term, but in the short term, it's actually quite positive because the M&A, you get multiples on the acquiree. In terms of corporate buyback, you've got earnings leverage in terms of reducing the share count, and then dividend payments increase the return to shareholders. So over the short to intermediate term, it's actually very good news for investors.